so close, and the record
Yeah.
isn't what you want, but where you at?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think as a team, I think we know how good of a team we are, and I think we know how close we are to being 5-0 or whatever you want to say. But we're just right there. I like to think it's just an arm's reach away, and we're just having trouble reaching out and grabbing it. But just a couple things we need to clean up, and we'll be in every game the rest of the year.
You've been part of the return game, I assume, all your life, growing
Yeah.
up in football. What's the challenge? People are talking more about the punt returning, I guess. But
Yeah.
you can speak to it, of the difficulty of knowing when to catch it, when to let it go, all that
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that counts.
Yeah, for sure. I would say punt returning is one of the hardest jobs in football. It's kind of it's unbelievably hard, and to be able to judge that ball, when it's dark out in the lights, in the sun, it can create a lot of challenges. But we've been drilling it every day at practice, trying to work on that just so we don't have those mistakes again.
Is it accurate that, as a punt returner or a kick returner, that you've kind of got to have an element of no fear? I mean, I've heard guys say that in the past. Some of the best ones, in Nebraska have just talked about you can never, you just got to go.
Yeah.
Is that accurate? And I mean, when you do see mistakes on special teams that occur from one week to another, is it harder to do that because there have been errors? Maybe?
Yeah, for sure. I think through what has transpired over the past couple of weeks, I think there has definitely been some sort of fear that's been instilled into the return game. But like you said, I think to be a great punt returner, I think you can't have any fear. And I think you need to fall back on your training like we do every day to make sure that we don't have any problems.
Coaches said there was a tough special teams meeting Monday.
Yeah.
What was your sense walking out there? You've seen it the last couple of days, sort of the resolve of that unit as a whole to change it.
Yeah, I think that meeting was well needed because obviously you can blame whoever you want on the game and whatnot, but in reality there's other things that we needed to clean up regardless of a punt that we kicked the wrong way or whatever. There was plenty of other opportunities for us to prevent that from happening earlier in the game. So I think it was well needed for our team. So we make sure that we don't make those mistakes again.
Two of the punts that coach has been talking about cost you guys some hidden yards. One went over Samore's head, one he had to move in for. Can you kind of compare and contrast the challenges of dealing with one or the other?
Yeah, for sure. I think definitely was some hidden yardage on those plays. I think I'm not going to blame Samori for not going up and catching those balls and whatnot because that's a tough job. But like Coach Frost said and all the coaches have said, those yards are much needed. And I think if we're under there catching those balls, I think we have a better chance. But I would much rather be able to come onto the field with the ball rather than a muff punt or something like that.
So when you have to move in for a ball, what's the challenge there?
The challenge is just coming up and making sure that you're calling a fair catch and making sure, even if you're not catching it, make sure that people are getting out of the way. And it's just a tough way to kind of run up there and to be so confident in being able to get under there and catch it when you have to run up so fast.
Samore's still he admitted he hasn't done a ton of punt returning in the past.
Yeah.
How much do you rely on your experience when you're in that spot?
I think you definitely rely on your experience, but obviously I haven't had as much experience at the college level rather from high school, and I think that's a whole different ball game from the college level, and it can be real tough sometimes.
Are you still personally working back there at punt return?
Yeah.
And do you do the up man and the kick return, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, Brody, on the play down by the goal line, where you ran the ball in the first half, it's a second down play after a false start.
Yep.
Were you in there as a running back, or did you motion out of the set where you lined up a receiver?
I was in there as a receiver, motioned back to the backfield, and we ran an option play, and he ended up giving the ball.
Okay, so that's like the option, like similar to the one that Samari has run. Yeah.
Exactly.
What's Adrian like as a roommate?
He's a great guy. He's exactly what you would think. He does everything the right way, and he's a lot of fun. Obviously, he shows some other sides of his unprofessional side, which I'm sure he's okay with. But yeah, he's a great guy, and I love him to death.
So does he leave dishes out, or?
I'm not going to comment on that.